Up to 200 ceasefire violations a day. More than 9,000 troops on both sides killed since the fighting should have stopped. Numerous roads still blocked and the country cut in two by communist forces. That's the scenario for the opening of the talks in Paris. The ceasefire left the opposing armies still in place, the so-called leopard spot principle. The government claimed control of 3/4 of the people and the Viet Cong 2/3 of the countryside. But the leopard can change its spots overnight. The aim is to grab more hamlets and more people before the elections. And as Viet Cong flags appear, so they're shot down, with each side accusing the other of a violation. The central coastal area has produced one of the ironies of the ceasefire. 3 times in the last 7 years, the communists tried to cut the country in two. They achieved it here after the ceasefire, and the devastated countryside is evidence of the cost. To one side lies the South China Sea, to the other the jungled Annamite Mountains, their further reaches riddled with Viet Cong and North Vietnamese bases right up to the border with Laos. In the bitter fighting immediately before and after the ceasefire, the communists won control of the road as well. The South Vietnamese lost 700 men and their only highway link between Saigon and the strategically important city of Da Nang to the north. The International Control Commission, made up of 1,106 delegates from Canada, Hungary, Indonesia and Poland, is one of the 2 bodies charged with policing the ceasefire. The other is the Joint Military Commission. The current chairman of the Control Commission is one of Canada's ambassadors, Monsieur Michel Gauvin.
We are not a peacekeeping force. Our task is to observe how the ceasefire agreement is implemented. And that is one task that we have been able to achieve.
Have you got enough men to do that job?
Well, I must say that we have enough men to carry our job as long as the parties to the agreement are living up to this agreement. But we would have 10,000 men now at the moment that we would be in no better position.
In a closely guarded compound inside the sprawling Tan Son Nhut Air Base in Saigon are the North Vietnamese and Viet Cong members of the Joint Military Commission. Newsmen have not been allowed access to them, except when they appeared for a joint meeting with the Control Commission at the beginning of the month. So far, the Viet Cong have brought in fewer than 1/4 of their allotted 825 delegates, and the Americans have complained that this is delaying the work of the Commission. When President Nixon's special advisor, Dr. Kissinger, outlined the Vietnam ceasefire agreement, he said it's clear that whether this agreement brings a lasting peace or not depends not only on its provisions, but also on the spirit in which it's implemented. Well, so far there's been a notable absence of that sort of spirit. The hope now must be that the Paris conference can help supply it.